Now, Super Mario Odyssey has been out for about 2 years now, and almost everyone thought it was beyond amazing. However, at some point, people got bored of it, as you could expect, since there's only a limited amount of content in the game. And so, the modding community picked up the game and started to do some really strange things with it. So today we will look at some of the weirdest mini-mods I could find, which are mostly little cosmetic things. Some will be quite cool, while others are just straight up odd and nothing else. Number 7. Now first up, we will look at a little mod that only really changed one minor thing. However, the effect that it has is absolutely gigantic. Because with this mod, they changed Mario's eyes a bit, and now they look absolutely terrifying. His pupils and everything are completely gone, and it's just completely white and nothing else. It's a small change, but it has a gigantic impact. He looks drastically different. A bit like some sort of horror character from a horror game like Outlast or something. It's absolutely terrifying to look at. Who knew that Mario, a child-friendly mascot, could become the stuff of nightmares as soon as you tweaked his eyes just a little bit? One thing I have to say though, while this looks creepy as all hell, it would be perfect for little machinima fan movies. Can you just imagine like a certain shot of zooming into an alley and then Mario pops around the corner with those eyes looking towards you? My golly, that would make for an amazing creepypasta of sorts. Another thing this would be absolutely great for is for memes. However, as far as I know, people haven't used this yet. But yeah, as you can see, the Super Mario Odyssey community loves to do some weird stuff with Mario. Number 6. Now this next one only changes one little thing that doesn't really stand out that much, because this mod gives Mario 2 Joy-Cons that he holds in his hands. And that's kind of it. The reason why this modder most likely made this was to show a little appreciation for the Nintendo Switch by adding this fun little detail to the game. Personally, I like it a lot. And the Joy-Cons look surprisingly good even. However, it doesn't make a lot of sense though. How does he throw his hat now, or climb, or do anything at all? I'm really curious how that would look in terms of animations. Will they just clip through, or will something weird happen? Who knows? Sadly enough though, this doesn't really add anything. You barely see them, and it's not tied to any new feature. So while it's a fun little thing to add to the game, it's nothing major at all. Number 5. Now, while the last one that I mentioned is a bit lackluster, this next one is beyond amazing and I love it so much. Because there's a mod where you can get a T-Rex in any area and any level in any place of the game, which is absolutely amazing as you can imagine, because messing around with the T-Rex is a ton of fun. And now you can get it in all kinds of weird places. For example, you can spawn it in Seaside Kingdom underwater, which is totally broken and weird and doesn't make sense at all, but it's really fun to run around as a gigantic lizard with razor-sharp teeth, destroying everything in your path. It looks absolutely amazing, even though it's quite broken and makes literally no sense at all and shouldn't even be possible. The only reason why we can even do this is because of this mod. Now, one thing I'm wondering about is, could this possibly break the game in any way? The T-Rex is gigantic after all, and maybe its collision can actually mess with a whole lot of things. If we look at the underwater section, we can see that it actually functions quite well. It just floats at some points and clips through certain things because it's just too big. But it doesn't crash, which is a good thing. So it seems to function well enough. But I'm still curious if it could break things in other levels or areas. I'm not even sure if this could work everywhere. It might even break the game in certain areas or clip you out of bounds, for example. Someone should really look into that. Number 4. Now the next one I want to look at is just a straight up meme and nothing else. Because of course, somebody added a Shrek mod, so you can play the entire game of Shrek And your Odyssey is green as well, which is fitting, I guess? Now, as you can imagine, this is absolutely terrifying. While the creepy Mario eyes were already scary, this is just the stuff of nightmares. But I have to say, I am quite surprised that it doesn't look awful at all. It actually looks quite decent and seems to work fine. It's just a green Mario with a Shrek head slapped on top of it. But personally, I think they could have taken this further in a good way. Think of custom maps like the swamp from Shrek, but this time it's a platforming level and you can run around as Mario, exploring. Or custom sound effects like all the catchphrases that Shrek says in the movie and stuff. They could even make an entire full mod pack out of this. A custom map that's basically Shrek's swamp, the skin itself, some sound effects. It would be perfect. Can you even imagine how many YouTubers would pick that up and let's play it to death? Heck, I would even pick that up for a stream. It's a genius idea. So let's hope that the person who made this mod will make an entire Shrek mod pack in the future. Number 3. Now, everyone knew from the very beginning, as soon as Super Mario Odyssey was out, that modders would alter Mario in such a way that it would look absolutely terrifying. Now, sure, Shrek is creepy, the eyes I showed before are weird, but this one certainly beats them all. Because there's a mod that takes away Mario's mustache, which makes him look absolutely disgusting. Just look at his nose and his smile. It's like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. It creeps me out. He looks way younger as well, but that's usually the case when you take away someone's facial hair. Clearly, there's a reason why Mario has a mustache. Because without it, his face looks weird, his smile is weird, and especially his nose looks very odd. It's gigantic and stands out way more. And when he smiles, it just looks really awkward and forced and weird. But like I mentioned before, we could have expected this. A ton of modders have already done this with other Super Mario games, so this was bound to happen to Super Mario Odyssey as well. I'm just not sure if this was actually a good thing. Number 2. Now this next little mod actually doesn't change anything about Mario. This time we're changing some things about a certain character seen in the game, the Jaxies. These are the little stone taxi dogs that we see in the Sand Kingdom, which were inspired by the Aztecs, Mayas, Incas, that kind of stuff. But thanks to this mod, those turn into Pochis. In my opinion, the Jaxies were already an amazing thing in the game, but this makes it even better. It would have been great if these were seen in the actual normal game, in certain parts where Jaxies aren't seen at all. It would have certainly given Pochi a bigger role in the game, because now he's only used for hints. One sad thing about this mod though, is there are no animations at all. If those were actually included, it would have looked way better. However, without them, it looks a lot funnier. Cause it's just like a Pochi just going forward, no movement at all, going extremely fast, just sliding over the ground. It's also really funny that Mario just bounces and hops around on top of Pochi, while he's just sliding forward and doesn't move at all. So while it is funny, it doesn't really look that good. If the creator added some animations and some sound effects as well, it could actually work legitimately in the game. Number 1. And now for our very last mod. And this one doesn't make sense at all. Because when you have this mod, Mario turns into a cardboard box. And that's it. Clearly, this is the best skin ever made. It doesn't take any effort at all and looks extremely weird and funny to me. The second I saw this mod, I was instantly thinking about Metal Gear Solid. You know Snake, who always hides under the boxes, just like in Smash? That's exactly what I was thinking of as soon as I saw this. And the fact that there are no animations adds to all of this. I don't need any animations for this. I just want a box sliding over the floor. One thing they could have added though is some sound effects, because that would make it even better. Another thing that's really funny as well is when you click pause or go to the start menu, you just see a box and Mario's nowhere to be seen. I don't know, it just looks really silly to me. Clearly there are some weird mods in the Super Mario Odyssey community. Personally, I hope the community will continue and make more and more and more. Because personally, I would love to add so many mods to Super Mario Odyssey that it looks absolutely ridiculous. So let's hope that they will continue making these beautiful, beautiful things.